Hi everyone. We are moving into some myth story writing. You will be taking what you know from the myths that you have read, and you will be writing your very own myth story. In this video, I am explaining the 4 options for myth story writing. You will not be required to write 4 separate myth stories. You are only choosing one story option. Let's go over the 4 options. For option 1, you may write a mythological dream team type of story. This may kind of feel like an Avengers superhero story. Choose 4 characters from the myths that you have read to include in your story. Think about the myth reflections you just submitted. You gave me some good reasons for your favorite characters, why you like them, what's good about them, what's interesting about them. Include them in this type of story. Then choose a disaster scenario that a superhero or myth figure dream team will have to solve together. Tell the story by using the myth figures and their powers to solve the problem. For option 2, you may write a myth mashup. In this type of option, choose 2 myths and create an Into the Woods style mashup. The characters can help each other with each of their problems, and they can meet in a place like the woods or Mount Olympus. You can also have myths collide and create a whole new ending. For option 3, you may write a story in which you reframe an old myth and rewrite it with a new setting. Old myth, new place. Rewrite a myth of your choice with a new setting. You can place it in modern times, in a fantasy world, such as Hogwarts. This sounds super fun to me. In a sci-fi setting, like the moon, or in a specific historical time period, like the Old West. Think about maybe your favorite time period to read about in like a historical fiction. That could be fun. So you will be retelling the same story in a new style as the setting influences the story. For option 4, you may write a sequel to one myth of your choice. Here are some questions you may want to consider as you think about how you want to tell the story. Tell the story based on these answers to these questions. Did the characters live happily ever after? Did they encounter a new problem? Were there consequences for bad behavior? Again, think about your favorite myths and think about how you still want to know what happens next. Maybe you're still interested in what happens to the characters. This is your opportunity to invent and create an ending of your choice. We will be going over how we will be writing these stories in future videos and tutorials. We will be using Google Slides. So anticipate those videos to come. But for now, go ahead and think about which option sounds best for you. Think about your myth reflections and your favorite characters, your favorite myths, and maybe even think about other books that you could incorporate, maybe a fantasy setting, a sci-fi setting. This is the opportunity for you to be creative and really have fun with this.